Good evening, everyone. My name is Jen, and I am the founder of Always and Forever. And this is our daily, well, today it's nightly, Operation Be Brave check-in. So thank you guys for following. If you're new to our page, thanks for joining us. And ultimately, as I should say every single day in a million different ways, just thank you for believing in this dream. Our dream is to wake up in a world where every single soul is treated with kindness, dignity, and respect, and most importantly, their life has been touched by love, even if only for a moment. And I am here tonight with my Always and Forever alumni, Lena, and I've got adoptable Lucy and Louie over there, and I've got my hippopotamus Z behind me here. And if this is your first time joining, really it's just a way for you guys to get to know me, get to know Always and Forever. We are a rescue that believes in transparency, and sometimes that is incredibly hard when all of our dogs are in the public and all of our issues are in the public and all of our mistakes are in the public too. But the only time that we are ever not making mistakes is when we aren't pushing ourselves to grow, and when we aren't willing to learn and to make mistakes and to grow from them. And we share them because we hope that others don't have to make the mistakes that we made. So that's who we are. That's what we've been. And we are human beings doing the very best we can in the circumstances we're in. I'm sitting on her foot. And it's funny because you can get lost in the world of social media, where you read the comments and the criticism, and you know, there's such a great quote by Teddy Roosevelt, and it's pay attention to the people in the arena with you until you're actually in rescue and behind the scenes, and you know the 24/7 love and care and devotion that goes into pouring your whole heart and soul into a cause that you believe in. The mistakes are almost like exponentially harder because they are done with the very best intentions. And sometimes you hurt people internally, and sometimes you hurt people externally, and sometimes animals are hurt along the way. But unless you're willing to admit when they happen and to assess the situation and say, hey, how can we do better? And that's what we're built off of. Every single day, striving to make today better than it was yesterday, to build a better tomorrow. And ultimately, I think the day that we say we are perfect, and the day that we stop trying and striving to be better, that's when we've lost focus. So as we grow, as we continue to bumble and fumble and transition, we're doing it together. And everything, literally everything, the hardest lessons in life always have blessings in it. And so that's why it's so important to keep perspective in rescue, because there are many, many people who do so much good out there. And it's easy to focus on what we didn't do that was enough, and the animals that we didn't save, and the people who disagree, and the people who say we should have done X, Y, and Z. But when you know your heart, when God knows your heart, and when you do the very best you can, and even when you do wrong, and you say, I'm going to try again, and I'm going to do better, I think that's what hope is. And I think that's how we get to build the shelter of our dreams, and to build a better tomorrow, and to know that as long as we never give up, then the future is limitless. It is literally only limited by our own imagination. And I believe in Always and Forever, and I believe in every single person that pours their heart and soul into each and every one of these animals. And that is all of you guys too. And that's why I jump on when I'm sad, I jump on when things go wrong, and I jump on when my heart is full, when I pay $8,000 to get an RV wrapped, because it's the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen. And it is literally Oh my God, it's literally wrapped with love, and I don't go anywhere. So I drive to the gym and I pick my friend up along the way. I say, let's go to the gym. I am now driving to the gym in the morning and parking in the parking lot. So I need people to go places in it and to drive it so we can get exposure, because I literally go to the gym and home. I'm here with the dogs all the time. But if something brings you joy, if something fills your heart with love, that's what we were built on, sharing that love with each other. You know, we started as a senior dog sanctuary, and, you know, a senior dog sanctuary that wouldn't put a limit as to we only take dogs that are 10 and up. So, you know, we had all seniors in the barn, and we saved a 6-month-old puppy, Bo, and he's running around the barn with a bunch of seniors. It was the cutest thing in the whole world. And he ended up going to an amazingly loving home, local here. And then it's just, you know, we took a dog that was beaten by his owner and tased, beaten with a frying pan and tased, and just completely abused and tortured. And that was our very first behavioral goodbye. And those things, those decisions that you have to make, those taking into all the facts and circumstances around what we do to protect our people and to protect our animals, they're never easy, and they live in your heart forever. But as I said, you go back to when you know the reasons why, when decisions aren't just made to make decisions, but there's good intentions behind them, then we have to give ourselves the grace to be humans, to make mistakes, to learn from them, to grow from them, and to always strive to do better. And I don't think that TK and Maddox and all the other dogs, and Copper, all the other dogs that we have invested in and believe in, invested in their emotional care. And it's one thing to recognize that we don't have, you know, if we had 50 Michaelas, we could take all the behavioral dogs. We have phenomenal staff. Every single day they give their heart and their soul. Guys, you can feel our staff's love through their videos and their posts. And that's what they do every day. Their job is so hard. So hard. Walking dogs, cleaning up. Our cat team, it's 24/7. It's amazing. It's amazing what they do. And all you can feel is their love. You can't feel the overworked, underpaid, all the stuff that other shelters can say. The exhaustion, that's there. They're human too. But if you look at our page, if you look at every post, if you look at what our fosters do every single day, they open their home and their heart to our animals, and they just give them everything. They welcome them into their world and say, I'm going to love you with everything I have, until someone else steps in their shoes, which is sometimes you or sometimes me, because I've adopted too. So, just a very special thank you to be on this journey with us, to where maybe our decisions weren't right before, but we're learning from them to get to where we want to be tomorrow. And we're always willing to grow. And Maddox went to his trainer today, and he was in my home for 12 days, and I messaged our group, and my house feels sad and lonely without him, even though I've got my other crew here. But every single soul, just, they touch you. They touch you in ways you don't even know how they could or would or should. And he was a guy that, he was in a foster right after we pulled him from Wichita Animal Shelter. Severe neglect, severe starvation. And he went to a temporary foster, and he's a little slow to warm up to men, but then he was great. And then in the barn, zero interest in adoption for like 4 months. And sometimes the barn can be a really stressful place for a dog, especially depending upon the other energy of the dogs in there, right? You get a really high energy dog that just yaps, 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 yaps. And then another dog that's just yapping back at him. 2 alphas, they're just talking all day. But then sometimes the barn is really good for dogs that don't have good social skills with other dogs, or with people. Because one of the best way I find to rehabilitate a dog is put a dog with a confident pack, right? A confident leader, a confident pack. It's just the best way to rehabilitate them. So when we have like 3 or 4 dogs that are just great, love people, love other dogs, you get a shy dog that doesn't trust people, what they're going to do is they're going to pick up the behavior of the 3 other dogs around them, and they're going to go up to new people when the 3 other dogs are around the new people and be like, hey, you know, I see you can trust this person. I'm going to trust this person too. But unfortunately with Maddox, it got to the point where he started to decline in our barn and started to need a different environment. He thrives off of peace. He thrives off of security. And from the moment I brought him here, you know, he's barking at my dogs, you know, didn't trust them at all. But I crate and rotated him, and, you know, we did probably a week and a half of just walking and separation and muzzles just to be safe. Muzzles are so great. I never thought of it before, always and forever, but muzzles not only protect you and well as other people, but they protect your dog too, because think about one bite out of fear, and sometimes that can be a death sentence for a dog, and you never want to put a human being or your own dog or another dog at risk. So buy a muzzle. It's off Amazon. It's like $15. We can drop a link in here if you're looking for one. And forget the haters, people that judge you. You can breathe through a muzzle, you can eat through a muzzle, you can drink through a muzzle. It's just going to protect you in at least some form of protection. So I think I got lost in that, but we reached out to a trainer and really, really liked this approach because he will be living in the home with this trainer, and we get bi-weekly updates. So Tuesday and Friday we will get updates on pictures and posts, and he just needs to meet, he has fear of meeting new people, and he ended up doing great with my dogs. Actually played with all of them. Some of them don't even like to play, and the one, Lena over here, she got an F in her intro to him because all she wanted to do was bite his face, and he was so calm. Because Z gets A+++, Lucy gets A+++. They just love other dogs. Louis, he got a D. Louis, the little spicy guy. He did bite Summer's butt once, but she came into the yard. He got scared. You know, it is what it is. Sorry, Summer. So, he will be gone for 6 weeks, but it's amazing the connection that you can get in just a couple weeks when you take in a dog that really has no one else. And that's what our fosters do. You guys step up when they wouldn't be alive without you, or when you open your home up to one of the barn dogs, that's a spot to save another life. And that's how amazing our fosters are, with how much they give and how much they love and how much of a difference they're making into this world. So I could keep talking about that. I won't. Tonight's probably going to be a little short. We have so many amazing things happening. We have about $15,000 raised for our match in September. We're running out of time. So the only way to raise $100,000 is if we raise $50,000 towards, to get that match completely doubled. And all of those funds will go towards the renovation at our Osawatomie shelter, which we so desperately need. They deserve a bathroom. They deserve huge play yards for the dogs. They deserve a meet and greet room. There'll be extra kennels in there, and a cat room so the cats can have peace. No cat should have a dog run up to it and try to eat it through a kennel. That's the last thing that we ever want for the sweet kitties there. And Beth does such a phenomenal job of getting them into the cat lounge or into PetSmart, so they don't have to endure the additional stress or trauma when we do take them into our care. So I can't think of a better way to invest in a brighter future than the renovations at Osawatomie. And if you don't know the story of that, take a look at our page. I think the link is on here. It really is a beautiful representation of saying that just because that's the way things have always been doesn't mean that it has to be that way anymore, and that change can happen when you never give up. And that's just the theme of everything we do with Always and Forever. What else do we have? Our medical expenses, they have blown us out of the water this month. I don't know that we've ever taken this many extreme medical cases on. I think everybody knows Mikhail, and his updates are amazing. He's got a couple people interested in adopting him. We are only adopting him out locally just because he has a long way to go medically, and all of his surgeons and the care is still here. But we are connecting them with Julie, and there's just such a beautiful, amazing future ahead with him. Sweet Daily, she's still waiting for a permanent foster. She's an amazing temporary foster. She lost her shoulder and her leg when she was hit by a car. Please don't be afraid to adopt a tripod. One of the greatest loves of my life was Libby, who was a tripod, and she lost her leg when she was 6 years old, and she lived 8 more years as a tripod with 2 bad knees in the back and bone cancer, and outlived everyone. And my God, she's the reason that I'm still here. So if you want to just have your heart explode with so much love, consider Daily. She is amazing. She does need to have knee surgery, unfortunately, because she was hit by the car. She lost that front leg. The back leg has a torn ACL, I think. So her first 2 vet visits were about $6,000. The ACL tear is probably going to be between, gosh, sometimes those are between $2,000 and $4,000. I don't even know the extent of that. So, and then we had beautiful Lola, who, I say beautiful, her soul is beautiful because she's still here and she never gave up. And the abuse and neglect that she endured, just the saddest part is she has an old collar with an old tag on it by the family that literally left her in hell to where she was starving to death. And so she came into our care, and then her health took a turn for the worse. She's, you know, if Mikhail was shaved, they probably would look, she might have been thinner than him. So you just don't know. But she ended up at Blue Pearl, and her expenses were close to $6,000 just to save her life. And again, this is just a soul someone else threw away and treated as trash. And she came into our care, and we might not have the funds for that right now, but we know that there are people out there that believe that every single soul deserves a chance, and that every single life deserves to have someone believe that their life matters. So we'll figure out how to get through this month. It's just one of those unprecedented months, and we'll find a way. We always do. And I think that's what I love most about Always and Forever. The tremendous faith it takes just to continue. Because there are a billion unknowns. But the only certainty that we ever and always have is that it's built and filled with love. So I had more to say tonight. I don't remember what it was. And it's getting late. It's been a long day. Hey, thank you to all of you amazing fosters and adopters out there who have put up with my bumbled and jumbled and ridiculous phone calls and texts where I'm reaching out to you and sometimes talking about the wrong puppy. But we're going through a transition. It's learning as we go, and it's you take life one day at a time, and that's all we can do. As long as we lead with love, we'll never go wrong. We'll make mistakes, but we'll find our way. So thanks guys for joining. I guess the last thing I'll share is there's a lot that's been going on with Wichita Animal Shelter too, and the veterinarian care that Kansas Humane Society has provided, or lack thereof, and their culture agreement that still blocks rescues out from saving a life. Over 1,500 animals at Wichita Animal Shelter this year have been put to sleep because rescues are blocked out. Please join us October 18th in Wichita to walk to City Hall. We'll get the details on that. We'll get a flyer made. And we will be placing 1,500 collars at the steps of City Hall, taking a moment of silence and probably saying a prayer. A prayer for change, a prayer for hope, a prayer for all the lives lost, that maybe someone out there will care, and maybe someone out there will let us in. Because we're not even asking the city to change. We're asking the city to let us be the change. Just let us in. Let us in to help. We'll do it all for free. We've done it before. Beauties did it for free Beauties and Beasts did it for free for 9 years. 9 years they gave their hearts and their soul to save every single animal at Wichita Animal Shelter. And the youth rate was between 2 and 4%. 9 years. Kansas Humane Society comes out with this culture agreement. The youth rate is now at almost 30%. Let that sit in there. 1 in just about 3 animals never walks out. They walk down a hall. Half my animals in my house are from Wichita Animal Shelter, and some of my greatest loves have been from there too. I had them before they had this agreement in place. We don't even know their pictures. We don't even have the numbers. So please join us. I can't think of anything else, and that topic just weighs heavy on your heart. I know it's hard to talk about. There's a million things that go on. There's a million things that go on in every rescue. So to every person that wakes up, rescue, shelter, animal control officer, Facebook follower, prayer warrior, wherever you are, whatever you do to help any animal in need, you're making a difference. And I thank you, because there are good people in shelters and there are really good people in rescues. But not every person in every rescue and every shelter is the right person to be in there. So know the people that run your rescue, that you believe in, that you support. Know the people that you donate to a shelter that run that. Know what their policies are on euthanasia, on behavioral euthanasia, on mercy euthanasia. Get to know the leaders in an organization. Know what their mission is. Know what they stand for. Know who they are on and off social media. There's a big difference. There's a big difference between a live and a recorded video. There's a big difference between a written out speech and someone speaking from their heart. I'm not asking you to donate to me or in particular. Please do donate to Always and Forever. But if you're going to donate anywhere else, because there's some really phenomenal causes, just know what you're giving your hard-earned money to. Because sometimes really good people are supporting really bad causes without even knowing it. So that's all I had for this evening. And as a wrap-up, just thank you. Thanks for hanging in. Thanks for coming back tomorrow. Thanks to everyone that joins me on my good morning videos when I wake the pups up. And if you are local and you see me in the RV driving to the gym, you can honk. I won't crash, I promise. I will wave back. So we gotta get on the road more. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Bye.